Hey everybody, it's Harlan Kilstein. I am here with my good friend Daniel Hall. You know, on the internet, people say good friend. They don't really mean good friend. It means somebody they heard of through whatever. That's not what's going on here. Daniel's a good friend. Daniel and I have traveled the back alleys of Jerusalem together. I showed him the neatest place to get fish and chips, perhaps in the entire world. You'd
I
never
showed
think.
you,
You
Harlan.
showed
I
me?
showed you.
You showed me. Okay, see, I take credit for everything. But that place was awesome, and I was back after you were there.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
great.
I introduced it to friends of mine, and it is just really a fantastic place. So Daniel and I go back a ways together, and Daniel and I have done webinars before, and I want you to understand that when I do a webinar with Daniel, there is so much content in the webinar. It's like getting a full course lesson. Now, we're doing a webinar tomorrow night. It's Daniel and his friend Tony. When Tony gets on a webinar, you are not getting off that webinar until everybody gets the concepts and understands just how simple and how important it is. And you will actually be able to take action just based on the webinar. So it's a webinar not to be missed. Daniel, tell me what it's about.
All right, so this is a really, really important thing and I'm so glad that we've decided to do this training because the fact of the matter is that we are going to show folks how the big multinational media companies like Disney, like Universal, like Marvel, take and use public domain content and source it to make their products, and in most of those cases, they are movies, and in the case of Marvel, comic books as well, but how they take and source public domain content and actually make something new from it. And this is one of the things that we're going to be teaching on our training tomorrow night. Now, here's the really cool thing. The fact of the matter is that you can, in fact, publish public domain content on Kindle. Okay, Kindle is huge. The beauty of Kindle, of course, is you don't need a website, you don't need a payment processor, you don't need an autoresponder, you don't even need to do your own customer service. You just need to publish books that people really want. And as it turns out, you can publish public domain books on Amazon and make really, really good money doing it. I mean, I'm a case in point and have for a long time undertaken that strategy. But here's the really interesting thing. When you take public domain documents and you add your own value to them, you add your own content to them, your own twist to them, those new things that you've created from public domain content are what are called derivative works. They're in fact derived from the public domain. And now here's the cool thing, Harlan, and you can take that derivative work, and now it actually takes that new work out of the public domain and makes it copyrightable. Now, the really interesting thing from that standpoint is that I said a little earlier that you can publish public domain under certain circumstances on Kindle, but you only make 35% royalty. That's all that they will let you do if you are claiming that it is a public domain work. Now, compare and contrast that with when you publish a derivative work based on public domain content, then you can, because it's eligible for copyright, you can claim the 70% royalty, and obviously 70% is much better than 35%.
Wait a second.
So
Did you just show everybody how? Did you just say that everybody's going to be able to take public domain works, do something to that, and get a 70% royalty, and this is okay with Amazon?
Oh, absolutely. It's actually the law because here's the really cool thing, right? When you add your own content to a public domain work, it actually becomes a brand new work. It's under the law, and as you know, I'm a lawyer, but under the law, it's
I
called
like you
derivative work.
anyway. I like you anyway.
I know you do, thank God. But here's the thing: the that work is actually copyrightable, as I've said, making it basically taking it out of the public domain. That is the new work, the work you've created. Now here's the sexy thing. Now here's the thing everyone's going to want to know about. What we're going to be teaching tomorrow night is how to go about taking public domain comic books, okay, and repackaging and repurposing and adding new content, your own twist, your own stories to Kindle or to comic books to publish on Kindle. Now,
Hold it. I got to jump in there.
see, I get so excited when I talk about this.
You're telling me that comic books are big on Kindle?
It is, in fact, one of the largest, the fastest growing, and most lucrative niches on Kindle is, in fact, comics. So, yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
Okay,
And
where do you
that's what we're going to
find?
be teaching folks tomorrow.
Are we writing our own comic books, or there are public domain comic books?
There are, in fact, public domain comic books, yes. And the really interesting thing is that there's some really pretty cool stuff out there, and a lot of it. In fact, we're going to be showing people specifics on where to go locate this kind of content, what to do with it in order to get a Kindle book up very, very quickly with it, and do this as much as you possibly want to do. And again, this is one of the fastest growing categories on Kindle. It's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You must be on this webinar.
So it's always the experience that the people who get into something earlier are the ones who get the maximum advantage of it. 5 years down the road, try and do this. There's still probably going to be lots of public domain comic books out there, but the competition is going to be all over the place. Get in now, and you can just like mop up what's going on and get the cash.
Well, exactly, and as I just said, this whole thing, because of the advent of the Kindle Fire, right, and the color streams, they're making picture books easier and easier to view on Kindles, and because of that, more and more people are using it in just that way. And it's not, by the way, it goes way beyond just simple comic books, because you can actually take what we're going to be teaching you and do your own, what are called graphic novels, okay, which are like longer sort of comic books. You could absolutely do that. And here's the really cool thing: we're going to be teaching you what to do with the public domain comics, the artwork itself, how to erase out the bubbles, the little talk and the dialogue and the thought bubbles and the dialogue bubbles that you see over the head of characters in a comic and all that stuff. What to put in there, how to do it all. It's going to be a thorough, as you say, a thorough training, because as you well know, Harlan, when either me or Tony or both of us together especially get together to do a training, it is a completely, step-by-step, completely transparent kind of thing. Of course, we will have an offer, obviously, but you don't even need to take us up on the offer to get maximum benefit from the training that we're going to be doing tomorrow night.
And that's why I'm so excited to be there and to watch. My son's a comic book guy, and I'm going to have him watching. Simply because the stuff that you give, you show, you don't leave anything out. You show every stinking detail on how to do this. So, guys, I'm recommending that underneath this, there's a link. I'm recommending that you register for the call. Join me, join my friend Daniel, join Tony, who is the public domain expert, probably the top public domain expert in the world. The stuff that the guy does is just shock your socks off. You should not miss this call. We're going to try and make sure that there's a replay for you. But if you are on the call live, Tony and Daniel will not let you leave until every last question you have of how you can turn this into money has been answered. It's a true quality, information-filled call. I'm looking forward to it. We took the unusual step of having Daniel here and help me make with this Hangout video, because it's that important for you guys to know what we're talking about and be on the call tomorrow. I promise you massive content. I promise you that you will not leave without saying to yourself, that call was worth attending. So tomorrow night, Daniel, last comment, last thought?
Yeah, just trust us. Be there, okay? Just be there. We're gonna blow your mind. And I know it's easy to say that. That might sound like hyperbole, but just test me on it. Test me on it. You will probably be up all the remainder of the night just doing the searches and the stuff we're going to be showing you on this free call. It's wild, okay? Just you're gonna love it.
All right. We'll be here tomorrow night, live, 8 p.m. Eastern. Join us. It's probably going to go more than an hour, because when Daniel and Tony start teaching, there is no stopping the content flow. So guys, just be here. It's going to be awesome. Take care.
Bye, everyone. Okay, Harlan. So I'm